Alright, so the tank is not looking very good. In fact, most of the corals actually kind of look like they're dying, especially my little rainbow tip anemone. Things don't look very good when even zoanthids are starting to get, you know, smothered, and the glasswork is so gross. Also, what nobody told me, I mean, I don't expect people to tell me things, but acrylic scratches with razor blades. Nobody told me. My acrylic completely scratched up. That's why the glass is dirty, because, you know, I have this guy over here that I could use, but there's nothing like the razor blade, you know? But this tank is struggling, and I think I need some kind of cleanup crew to stir up the sand bed. If I remember correctly, that is what worked with my other tank, was a cleanup crew to fix the sand bed. Now, in my last video, I was kind of dogging on the snails, but you know what? Maybe the snails do help out, especially if I get something like a conch. I don't mess around. I get like 20 serrat snails, I'm gonna have the same issues. But if I get a conch, I might have a fighting chance. So that's what I'm gonna go do now. I'm gonna go get a conch. Something else I want to point out is this tank being 3 feet wide and 16 inches, or 3 feet long, 16 inches wide. This tank absolutely goes through water like no other. I have my top off reservoir in here, and I fill this up maybe once every other day, and that's a gallon pitcher. Maybe I'm losing it from the pitcher. I need to get an airtight container as well. But the tank is struggling, and I mean, not completely struggling. You can see the sand bed is kind of clearing up in certain spots, but that is from my main man, the clownfish, who also has not been too happy. I fed him a couple times and he eats, but he doesn't eat quite as much as I would want him to. But other than that, the tank is going to get better. I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to really try not to give up on it. As far as the display tank goes, obviously it's going amazing. The corals that I put in here, all the algae was instantly cleared off and they're opening up. I really wanted to make sure I had this one and this one in here. They're my two freshest frags, and maybe they weren't going to do too well if they stayed in the other tank. I think they would have absolutely died. But the tank's looking good. My Eulophilia back here is absolutely not coming back to life. That's a big L. That was a 24 karat gold hammer coral. Got it from Aquashella. The other torch coral I got from Aquashella. And it's not their fault, you know, you can't blame anybody for stuff like that. But next time I go to an aquarium show, you better bet your ass I'm just picking up some awesome fucking zoas, cool mushrooms, and maybe some little filler pieces like this clove polyp, and maybe I'll try and get some gunnies. I don't know, the gunny I got also is struggling, but it's doing all right. If you notice, I did end up moving my neglected tank over here. This is my guy Scott. He is a turquoise jewel cichlid. He is awesome. I've had him for about 3 years now. This is my very first fish tank. This is the exact substrate and the decorations that I picked for my very first tank. They used to be a betta fish. This somehow got me from here to here, and I am absolutely thankful for betta fish in that direction. But without further ado, I need to go to the fish shop and I need to pick something up to help clear up my disgusting sand bed in this tank, so that way we can start having something enjoyable to look at in the middle of my living room. Well, as you can see, it has been about a week since I added my cleanup crew, and the sand bed is absolutely clean. Well, maybe not absolutely clean, but it is much better. From day one, the hermit crabs instantly started cleaning up all of the frag plugs, and as you can see, they look spick and span, super clean. Now my conch, on the other hand, he is doing a great job. Every time I look at him, he is popping around different sides of the tank. But he's keeping it clean, you know, he's a little slow, but it's okay. If you hear my baby in the background, that's a-okay. Hope you do not mind. But I'm starting to get some polyp extension back in this tank. For a while, even my clove polyps were not opening. But I'm really just focusing on my bubble tip anemone health. It's not doing too well. but that is okay. I think it's getting better. It's looking a little better than it was. I'm still really sad that I scratched the glass up on this tank. It makes it not fun to look at, but that is a-okay. But the cleanup crew is absolutely putting in work. I mean, this tank 2 weeks ago to now, it could be considered a whole different tank. But now I feel a lot more comfortable putting corals in here, especially different stony ones. I'm trying to start putting Euphilia in here and stuff like that. But while I was gone, you know, getting some cleanup crew and waiting, of course I picked up some coral. So if we go over here to the awesome display tank that looks freaking amazing, there's a couple new corals in here. Did you spot them? Probably not. Who am I talking to? This right here is another digitata. Why do I say another one? Because at one point I had one up here. This was a long time ago, back when my tank was pretty shit, and it didn't live. But I want to try and get into different corals. I want to start getting the SPS bug. So this is my guy here. On camera he shows that pretty orange with the orange filter, but in person he is a vibrant red, more of like a clementine red. And then I did snap him off of the frag plug. His little leg is right here. It's kind of bleaching, not doing too well, but it's right in the center. High flow, high light. I think it's gonna, I think it's gonna recover. It's gonna come back. As long as I can keep these corals alive, that one will come back. But obviously that's not it. I couldn't just fucking go to the reef shop without getting a ton of corals. Man, this tank looks good right now. I had to pick up another Zoa. I absolutely have the Zoa bug. This is a magician zoanthid. Obviously my LFS, oops. They didn't sell it to me as a magician zoanthid because sometimes, the names are stupid. This is just a cool Zoa, and I respect that. But yeah, the Zoa collection is building up. I think I'm gonna take, all these frags that I have, not the eagle eyes at the time, but all these frags, and maybe make a garden somewhere in here or put them as filler corals, because this eagle eye zoanthid is looking pretty cool, just covering the rockwork right here. And at one point I asked somebody, I was like, hey, what is your favorite coral in the tank? And they pointed to the eagle eye zoanthids. And I was like, cool, that's like the lamest coral that I have, but I mean, if people find that cool, then I want to buy more. And I've kind of started buying a bunch of Zoas from it. I've got this one here. I'm not going to go over the names, but I've got this one here. Also, actually, if you know the name of this one, let me know. I'm kind of having a hard time IDing it. And then now I have my beautiful corals back here. So hopefully they start growing, so that way I can start putting them in this tank, in my amazing frag tank that should be cycled, that should be done with its diatom phase, which means that I could finally start putting in some cool corals instead of just these lame xenia, easy, zoanthid and polyps. But once I start getting Euphilia in here and this bubble tip anemone starts to split, I have real high hopes for this tank. And I'm gonna keep it around, even though I completely ruined the front of it. If anybody has any tips for that, that's terrible. But yeah, that's probably gonna be about it for this video. The frag tank is looking great. Display tank is looking great. We are on our way to a healthy and happy reef system. I'm gonna dose and feed after I turn off the camera. And like I say in just about every video lately, if you are in the 505 area and you want one of these eagle eye zoanthids, I will give you one. I will trade you for one. I will trade you one of these for any kind of toadstool or leather. You just never know. I'm pretty open. I want to get into the community aspect of the hobby. With all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. It really makes my day. I do try and respond to every single comment. I hope you have a great rest of your day and all of your tank issues go away. Peace.